So everyone, and welcome to another How Good Are We. Today we're going to talk about all the Nanoha characters, and today we're going to make a lot of people very, very sad. Not a lot of people. The thing is, these are three characters, or rather the two characters, Nanoha and Fate, that not a lot of people actually have. A lot of people that have these characters are fans of the Nanoha series, and this is going to be a sad video because these characters aren't actually that good, and I'm going to have to somehow let you guys down very, very softly. Anyway, let's start with Nanoha, who is a fire type, XL2 Blast Discs, balance type. Does that mean her stats are pretty good? Yes, it means her stats are pretty good. Bunch of HP, not that much, but a decent amount of HP and a lot of defense. So overall, the total amount of stats that she has is pretty good. What about her personal? Damage cut, 40%. Ignore damage cut. No, this one's not that great. Not anything you would like to have. Okay, so we're gonna scroll down to her Magia and connect, and we're already seeing where's all the effects? Where's all the stuff? There's an attack up and a damage cut, and that's it. This is a connect you see on like natural 2-star characters, natural 3-star characters. Why is this on a natural 4-star character? Where's the third effect? Hello, where's the third effect? Can anyone tell me where the third effect is? It's nowhere. This connect is just missing an effect. It's bad. I'm sorry, this isn't a bad connect. What? Offensively, it's missing an effect. Defensively, it's also missing an effect. And it has no utility. So, what even is this? Next up to the Magia. We're seeing the same thing. Where's the third effect? Where's the third effect? It's got attribute strengthened damage. We could say that's the first effect. That's attribute strengthened. Okay. The second effect is got its XL and P gain up, but only to self. But surely the double would be on everyone. No, it's also to self. What? Where's the third effect? Can anyone find it? I can't find it. And it's bad. If this was XL and P gain up to all allies, it would still be bad, but at least somewhat usable. But only to self? XL and P gain up on a character that isn't even an XL Gorilla. An XL and P gain up. To self only. What? And it's only 35%. Other characters do like 40% to everyone, right? Okay. What else do we have? I mean, there's still a Spirit Enhancement, right? Some basic bonuses. Defense up. Okay, that's actually pretty good to get some defense up. So because she already has a lot of defense. With more defense on top of that, she will actually be pretty tanky defensive-wise. She doesn't have as much HP as a lot of other tanks have, so keep that in mind as well. But at least she has a lot of defense, especially with this buff. She gets damage cut as well. She gets some MP gain up to maybe somehow get to Magia faster, even though why would you want to get to Magia faster? It's not that good. But apart from that, it's not a whole lot else. This is basically all that her SE does. The ignore damage cut, I mean, sometimes it can be quite alright, but she's more of a tanky character. At least her stats are more so defensively oriented. So it's not going to do that much. But maybe her active, no. It's bind on one target, which isn't even 100%. If you throw into the mix that a lot of characters have like 25% aim and resistance, you drop down to like 50% chance. And 50% chance to target one character with bind. That's not very good at all. Whereas we have 25 MP restore to self. You know that other characters just start the battle with 30 MP, and here you have to use an active to get to 25? Isn't that also kind of terrible? What? I don't see anything that's good about Nanoha. You can say like, okay, she has a lot of defense, right? If she has a lot of defense, we can play her as a tank. But the thing is, because she's not defense type, she doesn't gain passive provoke. Because she doesn't have passive provoke, you're gonna, first off, even if you do put provoke on her on a Memoria, she's gonna still have a less effective provoke chance as other characters that have provoke, because provoke stacks multiplicatively. So, for example, Kirika or Kokoro or Sayaka, I think they all have provoke, they're gonna have a higher provoke chance than Nanoha has. So she's already worse as a tank than all of these other unlimited characters, okay? And she's highly limited, one of the most limited characters in the entire game that there've only ever been 2 chances to ever get for like a week. So not only is she a worse character than characters you can get all the time, is she even that much more tanky than these other characters? not really. She's like as tanky as these other characters. She doesn't even do that much. Is she offensively better? No. Sayaka is better at surviving. Kokoro is better at saving the entire team from death. And Kirika at least can do more damage herself with her active as well. She's worse than unlimited tanks at tanking and dealing damage. She's worse than unlimited character, and she's one of the most limited characters in the entire game, and she's not even a good type. She's fire type, which is really bad. I'm sorry, Nanoha, you're actually terrible. The only way Nanoha can win battles in this game is by befriending her enemies, which is, I guess, what she likes to do anyway. So if you're a Nanoha fan, I'm sorry. I don't have anything against Nanoha as an anime, but this is a terrible unit. Let's move on to Fate. Fate was kind of notorious for being the first character in the entire game to have more than 10,000 attack base. But the thing is, she was still worse than a lot of other characters because of her disc set. Other characters that, for example, were Blast Gorillas were seen as better as her because they were Blast Gorillas. Other characters that were Excel Gorillas were still seen as better than this character because Magia can be really, really powerful, and Excel Gorillas are also really good. So overall, even though she has more than 10,000 attack and was the first one to have that, she was already not actually as powerful as people thought because her disc set isn't as amazing. What about her personal? Her personal gives evade herself 100%. Just use a Quell Bloom, and it saves the entire team, not just one character. Just use a Quell Bloom, guys. Meteor Rain, just use Meteor Rain. What about her Connect? Her Connect gives damage up, critical hit, and anti-evade. Isn't there another character with exactly this exact same connect? I'm too lazy to pick out that character, but there's another character that has basically exactly the same connect. Is it good? Yeah, it's decent. It's a decent connect, okay? The damage up is nice. It's good to have a damage up on your connect instead of an attack up. Critical hit, it's not 100%, but still it's really, really good to have a critical hit on there if you're using this in a setup that is more about blasting, for example. In a blast charge setup, for example, this would actually be quite alright to have critical hit. Of course, not on an Excel team. However, you're not going to use her on an Excel team anyway, so it's fine that she has crit. The anti-evade, it's highly situational, and even when it's situational, it's 55% chance. It's not even 100% chance. That sucks. But it's something else that we have on there. Once again, the Magia seems to be missing effects. You know that most 4-star characters have like 4 effects? This one has 3, if we count Attribute Strengthened as an effect. Or at least 3 like good effects, instead of just 3 bad effects. Here's the thing, the blast damage up to self is actually quite nice. Having blast damage up to self, that's pretty good. That's just something that you want to have on a blast character. But she only has 1 Excel disc, and as we're gonna see later with her Spirit Enhancement as well, she has no way of getting to Magia fast. So her Magia is an afterthought. As an afterthought, giving blast damage up to only self and, I mean, evade, whatever, not really much else, isn't really that amazing. There's other blast characters that have better Magias. So she's even lacking in that sense. It's not terrible. Like I said, these characters, by the way, aren't terrible. Like Nanoha, I made some spiel about, but Nanoha isn't terrible. She's still quite alright. She's just worse than comparable characters. Fate also, with everything we've seen so far, she isn't a bad character. She's decent. But like I said, she's one of the most limited characters in the entire game that was only available like twice for a week each. And she's only decent, with pretty big flaws and not many big strengths. What about her Spirit Enhancement? Let's go Spirit Enhancement. Charge this damage up 10%? Okay, twice even. Sure, I mean, she has to charge this, so it's actually alright that she does some damage, but she's not built around charge that much anyway. She gets 50% crit, 35% chance anti-evade, that's fine. These notes are fine. Ignore damage cut, that's fine. I guess she's at least more offensively oriented than Nanoha was, so she'll be able to make more use of that. These notes are just fine, and nothing else, just fine. What about the active chance to whirlwind? Chance to critical hit, I mean it's called whirlwind. Chance to critical hit and chance to evade, 55% chance each. This is one of the kinds of actives that can be amazingly powerful. Like in mirrors, let's say you're in mirrors, you have the lowest amount of defense, you probably will, your defense is pretty bad. You'll get attacked first. you use this. You want to evade. It's possible you just get hit once and die immediately on the first hit. That can very much happen. She's so squishy that she can very easily die on the first hit, right? It can very easily happen. And even then, you can also die on the second hit as well, just as easily. Or you evade all 3 hits. Probably just 2 because the enemy will switch before that. But even so, it seems like highly situational in that it's just highly RNG dependent. It can be amazingly powerful. Maybe you'll activate this and not just dodge enemy attacks, but also crit enemies to death immediately, or you don't crit a single time and you'll be very sad. I don't like actives that are so incredibly focused on RNG, unless it's Yukika, we're gonna get to her at some point, because it just opens you up for disappointment. If you use an RNG ability and you crit a bunch, it feels alright. It feels normal. And you evade a bunch, that feels normal. But if you use an RNG ability like this and you don't crit and you get hit, that feels really, really bad. That feels so bad. I think it's you could file this under loss aversion. That in general people feel a lot more strongly about loss than they do about an equal amount of gain, and this is very much like that. You'll be less happy about just winning with this than you will be sad when you lose with this. So overall, Fate, once again, yeah, she was the first unit to have 10,000 attack, but her disc set, her Connect Magia, I mean, they're just fine, and not much else. She's just fine for one of the most limited characters in the entire game. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I don't have anything in Nanoha. I watched Nanoha. I did watch them. I don't dislike Nanoha, but I'm gonna be honest on these videos, and my honest opinion is that these characters are either just slightly below average or just average, and not much better. You know who else is slightly below average? It's Hayate. It's also not good. Also, the one character who I thought was actually... When this season of Nanoha first came out, and I only saw images of this, I thought Hayate was a guy. Only later I found out it was actually a girl, but anyway... We have Hayate, who was the freebie characters, who was the freebie character of the Nanoha event, and therefore probably won't be that good. I mean, she was a freebie character. She did get uncapped to 5-star later, but because she was a freebie, she's probably not that good, right? So she's a Maga character with these discs, which can be fine. She has a personal, which is not that good, which is kind of bad actually. Let's move on. Her stats are bad, but once again, you kind of expect really bad stats on a freebie character. So yeah, her HP is god awful. Just one of the worst HP stats in the entire game, and she doesn't even have good defense stats to somehow keep it safe. So she dies immediately, and her attack isn't even that good. So yeah, like I said, you would expect stats like this to be terrible, so it's expected. Next up, Connect. Chance to buy an attack, 65%. Why only 65% chance? Why 100%? Like, you know what makes Mommy so good is, or in general, Charu as well. Characters that stun or like incapacitate enemies are really good because if you use them with blast discs, you can hit multiple characters and possibly stun the entire enemy team. And that makes it really powerful. But if you've got only a chance on it, like here, 65% chance, then it's possible that if you use this with blast discs, you're not stunning the entire enemy team, and some enemies just don't get stunned. And that's terrible. That's actually really, really terrible that enemies might not get stunned by this, which can screw up your entire strategy. What else do we have? So we have the Magia, at least, which is pronounced...
Clive Sullish.
Clive Sullish.
Clive Sullish.
Clive Sullish. Is pronounced that way. And it damages all enemies and gives defense down. I mean, defense down is a nice effect to have alongside other stuff, but just defense down and nothing else, that's kind of bad. So once again, her Magia also isn't that great. Spirit Enhancement maybe? Chances damage up. Chance to evade 15%. Chance to bind on attack. That's actually quite alright. This is a quite alright node right here to bind on attack, but apart from that, not really anything else. The active though, look at the active. Mark damage up 15 damage. It's not that good. It's just average. So Hayate has some stuff that is somewhat average. Like I think I mean, still being able to bind on an attack with contact can be pretty alright when it actually does work, so I'm not gonna count this terrible, just highly situational and RNG dependent. Binding on attack as well can also be pretty alright. She's decent average at best, but most of the time she'll be below average. Most of the time she'll just be kind of a meh. And that's, I think, what I would say about most of these characters in general. The entire Nanoha collaboration, as awesome as it was to be having a collaboration with another franchise that is decently big, these characters aren't that great. These characters sadly aren't that great. If you like Nanoha characters, of course, once again, waifu characters or general characters that you like, you should still keep enjoying the characters you like, keep rolling for characters you like, because the thing is, as I keep mentioning, in this game, the balancing is made in such a way that you can just play characters that you like, and if you know what you're doing and you play around your team's weaknesses, you will still have a great time. So keep going for characters that you like, but they're not that great. That was that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. I guess that's important. And I'll see you guys next time.